everybody, this is the Irish Scrapper, back with my second project for the Craft for the Crack design team. The theme for this month was green, so my last piece that I put on was a mixed media canvas, and this piece I made, it's an altered tin box. Now I'm not going to make the box again because I'm actually out of some of the components that went into the making of it, but I'm going to run through how it's made with you. It started life as this little tin, and what I did was I opened the tin, and they're all like little brads, so I removed this and I removed the handle and this piece, they're all removable, and then there's a little bar that goes across in here, and I removed that, so literally the top of the tin was separate to the bottom. Then what I did was I gave the tin itself 2 coats of gesso, both top and bottom, 2 coats of gesso, and then I cut a piece of black card and adhered it to the bottom to cover up this part. And then what I did was I took some trim. This is the trim I used, a beautiful trim, and after the 2 coats of gesso were dry, I applied this green pearl paint. So I gave it 1 coat of that pearl paint, you can see it here. And then what I did when that was dry was I took this trim and I hot glued it all the ways round the tin. Then one of the components I'm actually out of and have on order is this pearl trim here. It's like a little square trim, but it comes on like a little ribbon banner. So I glued a layer of that on top of the trim, and then I used this string of flat back pearls and I hot glued those on to the top of the lid. And I also cut a piece of green paper and corner rounded it and inserted it into the top of the tin. And after that I used a combination of Wild Orchid Craft products. So these were the big roses that I used. They're ivory tea roses. And then I also used a smaller size rose, you can see here. Now I'm out of that product as well, but this is it in another colour. So I'd adhered a few of those in. I used the Wild Orchid Craft leaves in green and put those in different places. You can see them peeping out here and here, and there's a couple underneath that aren't very visible. Then I used a few stamens. As you can see, they're stuck on here and they're all hot glued on. Then I put in a couple of stick pins. Now these ones were fancier, I'll take one out. I cut the end off it because they were quite long, and I put 2 of those in. One here and one here. And then I used one of these little pearls and glued it here. Then I took some of this lace and I made a bow out of that lace and I stuck it in underneath. You can just see bits of it hanging out here and here. There. And this is another component that I've run out of that came off of this package of fibres here, and it was the one that went round here, and literally that was the last of it. And then I took one of the Tim Holtz brass plates and I used the same pearl green paint, and I just put a little bit of it out and I dabbed my finger into it, and I gave it 2 coats to get this effect. And lastly I had this little sticker pad that I put into the frame, but you can put literally anything you like into the frame, you know, treasures or memories or photographs or whatever you like, but it makes for a beautiful little well, what I actually plan on putting into this tin is a mini album, and perhaps I'll come back and show you the mini album when it's finished. So that's it. It was very fast, very easy, an altered tin, and the theme was green.